Just probing. And what do we have down here? What are you? Little skink? You coming? You coming at me? You coming at me, bro? You are coming at me, bro. What are you doing? Why are you like that? So aggressive. You're a weirdo. You gonna bite me? Outstanding. Filming this in my workshop because I found it right out there, but it's getting dark. And so I already filmed a section of this, but I kept calling the thing inside this a pupa. It's not. The thing inside this is a larva of a very tiny wasp. And this is an oak gall. I think this is called an oak apple gall. I read some papers on this recently, and I will put a link to those in the description. But this is super fascinating. So this is oak tree tissue, but it is incubating a very tiny wasp larva inside. Now, unfortunately, this wasp larva, I think it's doomed. It fell off of the tree a little early. Normally, they would stay on until this thing puffs up, becomes somewhat hollow, dries out, and then the wasp inside has pupated and is an adult wasp and can sort of bore its way out and fly away, I believe. So this is a little early on. We're seeing what this would normally be way up in a tree. Looks like a fruit, right? But it's not. This is just a solid mass of fairly abnormal growth for an oak tree. Oak trees don't make anything that looks like this without coercion. And coercion is exactly what the wasp does. So the little tiny wasp comes by and goes to the surface of an oak leaf. This thing kind of grows straight out of the surface of a leaf, and it puts its little ovipositor in there and lays an egg into the surface of the leaf. And then the little larva that it puts in there, the egg that it puts in there, starts releasing all these things that are very similar to the plant hormones that direct normal tissue growth in the oak, but they orchestrate it in this way that sort of causes it to grow into this weird sphere here. It's pretty heavy. It feels very very juicy, I guess. I have cut into these before in the past. I may do that right now. It's kind of gross because there is a little wasp larva in there, but you don't really see that. But there's sort of a red starburst pattern in there, red and white starburst sort of pattern in there. The interesting thing to me about this is that if you think about it, what the wasp is doing is it's using the plant almost in this to do the function that placental mammals use the placenta to do. The plant sort of tricks the plant into creating this mass of tissue around it, and the plant is constantly pumping that tissue full of sugar and water and nutrients, and it has this layer around the larva inside, and the plant is constantly replenishing that layer of cells, and that little larva is constantly eating that layer of cells. So it's sort of feeding that larva and assisting with its growth and giving it a protective area. So it sort of functionally is a lot like the placenta and placental mammals, but this is just an insect and a plant interacting. And not only that, but if you think about sort of the evolutionary time that this must have taken and what kind of weird intermediate steps must this relationship have gone through, on top of that, there are things that can parasitize the larva inside. They lay an egg through this gall and parasitize the larva. Sometimes just outright kill the larva and just take over and hijack the gall infrastructure. They also, I believe there's some that just kind of cohabitate with the larva in there and kind of share and, you know, partially steal, just like, you know, they're couch surfing in the gall. And so nothing against couch surfers. I didn't mean to say, you know, disparage them and say, you know, steal in the same sentences as that. But I actually think I will try to slice this open. It is prematurely fallen from the tree anyway, so it's not going to live a full life, and I'm going to not cut into the larva itself, but I am going to slice the outer portion of this gall open just to show the inside. So it's still, if you slice this open, you still could mistake this thing for a fruit. It's just a crazy looking structure. Oh look, Maple's coming to join me. Hey Maple, come on up. We're just looking at gross stuff. Come here. We're looking at gross stuff. We're looking at a larva. What are you doing? Why are you, come here. Okay. Well, anyway, so that is an oak apple gall there. Very, very interesting and bizarre. Man, what a crazy world we live in. And here out front, I found one that has completed its life cycle. It's kind of an empty husk. Oh. So the little wasp will sort of pupate and emerge in there, emerge from in there. There's the tissue that sort of fed it, and that's where it was. And whenever it sort of turned into a little wasp, it was ready to leave and go out into the world, just sort of burrowed its way out. This thing fell off, dried up, and now it's here. I think people use these for like dye or something. They probably have a lot of tannins in them.